So when I was little, I was very outgoing and like very like rambunctious and I always wanted to be like outside or like playing a game or like doing like anything really, like anything to keep me entertained basically. And I was just very like, this is like who I am, you know what I mean? And like I never thought that that would like, that like I would like ever like question that or like issue with like anything like about me. Like I was just like very like happy with who I was, and like when you're little, like that's not really like a thing that you like think about. And so things started to get a little bit just harder for me, I guess. Once I hit 5th grade, I started kind of caring about what people thought about me. I kind of discovered that I had anxiety. It really started when I was like 10. Definitely like noticed a decrease in like my confidence and just like comparing myself to like everyone around me, like, oh my god, like I'm not pretty enough, I'm not skinny enough, like, and like I just like really let myself down for like a while, and I never really like talked about it to anyone because like I just thought like if anyone like knew about the things that like I thought about, like they would just like think that like, the stuff that went on my head was like stupid, and like no one would understand, and like they would just be like, it's like ridiculous. Putting on this whole persona of like going to school and like having a lot of fun with friends, but like in reality, like in the back of my mind, I was kind of like in a bad place like mentally. I discovered this website called YouTube. Like it was like just starting out, and I discovered that there were like beauty videos, and I had always like been into makeup, and I became like so inspired by it, and like YouTube for me was just definitely like just something I loved doing, and it made me feel good. I just started making my own videos, and I really discovered that I loved being on camera, being behind the camera. I had always wanted to be an actress growing up. Like that was like always like my thing. Like I would watch movies, maybe like say if they were like a spy movie, I would pretend like I was a spy or like a mermaid or just like something like that. Getting to make YouTube videos, I felt like I was in like my own little movies. Also about something else I loved, which was like makeup and beauty. My mom didn't let me make YouTube videos, but she did let me post them on Facebook. After a while, she finally let me post the first YouTube video and like make my whole channel and everything. I was just like in love with it, and it just gave me like this like big like boost of confidence, you know what I mean? Like I genuinely like found something that I loved doing, and makeup really became like an outlet for me. Like it really became like this kind of like creative outlet where I can like sit down and just like look any way that I want, you know what I mean? Like how cool is that? Like another way that like both of those two things like really like tied in together is that like something I love about acting, plays and like either like shows or like movies and things like that, and you're like all these different characters. Like how cool is that you get to be like so many different people? Like it sounded like the coolest thing on the planet to me. So then I kind of realized that when I did my makeup, I could kind of like become like different like characters or like different people or make myself look a certain way, and I was just like, oh my god, like this is now even like more like over the top amazing to me than it was before. So I just like completely like fell in love with it, and it really like fueled the fire for like my love of like acting, just like everything like that. It just made me like learn so much about myself. Really found something that I love doing like at such a young age. My channel kind of like blew up like randomly, and after a couple of years it started to die out a little bit. I was getting a little bit older. I was about to go into high school. It's like I like had like so much going on like that I couldn't really like focus on that anymore, so I kind of like lost like a big part of myself. Honestly, like freshman like sophomore like year, I was so much different then than if you like met me now. Like you would just think that I was like completely different people. Like I really like wasn't truly happy with myself, and I also struggled a lot and still struggle with anxiety. Once again, like I was like kind of back in that place where I just had that thought in the back of my head, and I like really just like was unhappy with the way I looked and just like everything just like about myself. And I just feel like also like once I hit high school, like my personality was just a little bit different. Like I was a lot less like outgoing and like a little bit more shy and like reserved than like I had ever had been, and like that's just like not me at all. And it was like that kind of place where you're like, I know I'm unhappy and like this isn't me, and like I couldn't really like figure out like what I wanted to do to change it, but I knew that there were certain things that like whenever I did them I would feel good, and that's the way that I felt about makeup, and that's also the way that I felt about acting. So like when I went out onto stage, I would just kind of like forget about like everything that was like going on around me and just like any like negative thoughts I was feeling about myself, because then I would be putting myself like into a character. I'll often like do that and like have so much fun, and then when I would do my makeup it would like make me feel good about myself. And so I think those two things like really got me through a lot of my struggles. Kind of just started realizing that like this is ridiculous. I'm just like watching my life kind of like pass by me. Really just like started just doing what I wanted. kind of just decided one day, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna wear whatever I want. And like, yeah, I might not look like perfect in it, I may not be a size 0, but this is me, and like I kind of have to start working with what I have. And what I have is fantastic, and there's nothing wrong with it. And like, I started just kind of like ingraining that in my head, and like the little things that I did with like my appearance, and then kind of like the way that I started thinking about things differently, it really helped me to kind of finally get back into the person that like I know that I've always been. But
one thing I love is working out, whether it's through practice or going to the gym. It just really makes me like feel good about myself that I'm working on my body, and it just makes me more confident as a person.
Something I love is rowing, and I love rowing because I've made some of my best friends through this sport.
Something that I love is Amanda, because she's Amanda, duh.
Something I love doing would definitely be crew. It's just like the people I'm around, it's just something I've grown to love.